Ciao, my name is Umberto Mucci and this is We the ItaliaNews, a podcast about Italy during coronavirus times. Today is Thursday, November 11, 2021. Happy Veterans Day. To date, considering the Italian population over 12 years old, 86.6% has received at least one dose of vaccine, 83.9% is fully vaccinated, while 41.8% is the percentage of third doses received by those who are currently eligible. Right now, Europe is the global center of the fourth wave of COVID contagion. Europe has 63% of the world's new infections and 55% of all deaths these days. Understanding what is happening overall in Europe is not easy because the management of the epidemic and the vaccination campaign is different from country to country. In general, we can distinguish between three different major policies for managing this phase. There are governments, especially in Eastern Europe, that did not promote an extensive vaccination campaign and at the same time did not impose restrictions to prevent the spread of the virus. Other countries, this is the case of the United Kingdom and Germany, have chosen to promote mainly vaccination by removing many of the preventing measures. Still others, the most cautious, including Italy, have confirmed many of the restrictions and encouraged vaccination with specific restrictions for unvaccinated people. One of the most endangered countries in Eastern Europe is Slovenia, where every day 40% of daily swabs are positive. 40%. Slovenia borders Italy's northeast in the region of Friuli-Venezia Giulia, which in fact is the Italian region with the most alarming data. But as mentioned, Italy is among the European countries that are better off. Last year, on November 10, 2020, 16.1% of daily swabs were positive, while yesterday, November 10, 2021, that percentage was 1.6%, and about a tenth are also Italian deaths from COVID, 60 yesterday, 580 a year ago. The situation must be monitored, but vaccines are protecting us from outcomes that would have been devastating. Even Italy, however, is divided into three. We have more virtuous regions, others at medium risk, and a small group at a greater yellow risk. The latter are those with two characteristics: exceeding the first parameter provided for relegation to the yellow zone, the one of 50 weekly infections per 100,000 inhabitants, or being close to or exceeding one of the two thresholds hospital alert. A region exceeds both to end up in yellow. 10% of beds occupied in intensive care and 15% in other departments. In the area most at risk are Friuli Venezia Giulia, Trentino Alto Adige and Marche, all regions in eastern Italy. In the second area, at medium risk, are all the other regions except Sardinia and Molise, which are in the range of those who are better off. The Italian government has announced that as of December 1st, all Italians between the ages of 40 and 60 will be able to receive their third dose. This is an increase of 15 million in the number of people who will be able to have the booster. To date, the booster has been offered to 2.4 million people: the immunocompromised, those with a frailer health, healthcare workers, the over 60s, and those who received the Johnson & Johnson single-dose vaccine. The length of time the Green Pass is valid will be revised to reflect the vaccine booster, and it is very likely that vaccine hubs will have to reopen, although each region will make its own arrangements. The possibility to do the booster will be triggered 6 months after the second dose. Messenger RNA vaccines, namely Pfizer and Moderna, will be used for all. The 8 million 50 to 60-year-olds and the 7 million 40 to 50-year-olds will be added to the 20 million over 60 who are waiting for the third immunization. The third dose will be voluntary, but there is a proposal to make it mandatory for healthcare workers, as happened with the first two doses. The government is also preparing the vaccination for children aged 5 to 11 years, as it is expected soon the green light of the European and the Italian health agency is expected by Christmas. Neither the introduction of the Green Pass for under 12s nor the extension of the Green Pass to students over 14 is planned. It means that the vaccination campaign for children will take place for now on a voluntary basis, a free choice. Serious crimes reported in Italy in the first 6 months of 2021 decreased by 17.4% compared to the same period in 2019, i.e. in the pre-pandemic era. This is confirmation of a trend that has been observed for several years, although it is not always followed by greater perceived safety in the population. Instead, crime in 2021 increased by 7.5% when compared to the first 6 months of 2020. At that time, the lockdown had led to an overall decrease in all crimes, except so-called cybercrimes, which are also growing in 2021. Thus, the 2020 figure is an exception that does not refute the multi-year trend. Christmas is coming. We need to protect our health, since the contagions continue to rise, but also our economy. The Italian government is convinced that the no green pass and no vax violent protests that every Saturday occupy the historic centers of many Italian cities, increasing contagions and blocking the shopping streets, are no longer tolerable. Italy has been in lockdown for months and the Italian economy is recovering, spreading the virus with dangerous demonstrations that penalize stores and customers by preventing them from shopping on Saturday afternoon, for many the only free time of the week, means allowing a tiny minority to put at risk the lives and interests of nearly 90% of Italians vaccinated, and the government does not want to allow it anymore. So, it has been decided to stop the violent protests by not allowing them in the most sensitive places for commercial activities and in those at risk of disorder. Sit-ins are allowed, but not where they cause problems. The majority of Italians approve this decision, which does not affect the freedom to protest of a few Italians who, for months every Saturday, have been blocking cities without respecting the health rules necessary to combat contagion, but protects the freedom to have a safe life of all others. There is a very good news long overdue. You may know that the Italian speed of Italian trains is through trains that are called frecce, which in English means arrows, a term that recalls the speed. Until now, high-speed trains have connected several Italian cities, but they stopped in Calabria. Sunday, November 14, however, the high speed will arrive in Sicily, finally. For the first time, a freccia, an arrow of Trenitalia, will run along the Sicilian tracks from Palermo to Messina via Caltanissetta, Enna and Catania, connecting the island with the high-speed system. In order to speed up travel times between Sicily and the high-speed network of the rest of Italy, in Messina there will be an interchange with the fast ferry that crosses the Strait of Messina and connects Sicily with Calabria. The ferry will take passengers to Villa San Giovanni station in Calabria, from where they can board the high-speed train that will continue northwards. Improving high-speed trains, particularly in southern Italy, will be one of the main recipients of European Recovery Plan money. Today is Veterans Day. We the ItaliaNews is a podcast about Italy, but don't think that Italy has nothing to do with Veterans Day. Italy was liberated by American soldiers, and it is also thanks to them that we have been able to enjoy our freedom ever since. Thank you to all the Americans who fought for our freedom. My father was saved by the Fifth Army. He had refused to fight for the fascist regime, and they had sentenced him to death for this. Thank you to the 3 Italian-American heroes who saved and welcomed my father into the Fifth Army. It is because of them that I exist. Thanks to Eddie Gastaldo, Sal Di Marco, and Anthony Tiso, my heroes. And through them I want to thank all their fellow American soldiers, both of Italian heritage and not. Happy Veterans Day to all. This was We the ItaliaNews. My name is Umberto Mucci. I'll see you next Monday. Please take care and stay safe. Ciao from Rome.